I'm sick. Is it my responsibility to stay away from my roommate, or my roommate's responsibility to stay away from me? You are sick and this is your home. Please do not go out of your way to spread your germs in public. When you live with people who catch a cold, you are likely going to catch it as well. If she wants to minimize that possibility, it's on her to go stay somewhere else. When my husband or child get sick, I do not send them to stay at a hotel until they are better. Please stay home and rest. You absolutely 100 need to get out of the library and stop spreading your germs. Sick person has all rights to their own bed and should, for the good of the community, stay home. If your roommate is anxious about that, she can seek other lodging. The dorm I lived in had empty rooms for sick people to stay in for that exact reason. I'd talk to your RA about options if you're not comfortable confronting your roommate. I'd how common it is for colleges to have something like that, but it's possible there's an option for one of you to temporarily be moved. If not, your RA can help mediate with your roommate. You're sick, you should be resting. It's up to you to take reasonable precautions, but staying out of your bedroom isn't really what I would call reasonable. Just try to wash your hands before touching shared surfaces, fridge doors, other door handles, etc., and make sure to cover your sneeze in your arm or a tissue, not directly into your hand. If you do the best you can, she'll just have to deal with the rest. She is being selfish if she is suggesting you go to a library and make others sick instead of staying home and making her sick. A mask is not 100 effective. It's one of the hazards in sharing a room. It's not a reasonable expectation to ask a sick person to stay out of their room. If I were her, I would sleep on the couch or something. In general, it is a responsibility of a sick person to stay away from healthy people, but that means staying home in bed. Stay home if it's so bad she doesn't have to be in the house all day. You need rest, so do what works best for you. She can wear a mask. It's the responsibility of both of you. Just don't throw your tissues everywhere, and she has the responsibility of being sanitary by washing her hands and wiping down door handles, etc. Go to bed. It's unreasonable to stay out of your shared room. You have a responsibility to cover your cough and wash your hands. Wipe down light switches and door knobs. But you are sick. You're allowed to sleep in your own bed. But again, cover your cough. Your responsibility. Washing your hands more. Washing any dishes you use right away, not sharing any food or beverages, staying out of others' personal space, not touching things you don't need to touch, wearing a mask whenever you can, staying out of public spaces as you're able. Not your responsibility. Completely staying out of your room or crossing paths with your roommate. It would be irrational for her to expect you to not be home in bed while you're sick. Don't let her make you think otherwise. You can give her a courtesy heads up about being sick and that you're heading to bed. You're sick, go back to bed. If possible, get a can of Lysol spray and hand sanitizer and use before after you touch things such as the door handle, light switch, etc. If you can open a window, fresh air is good. Wash your hands frequently, dispose of tissues properly, and give the room a good clean when you feel better. Feel better. Have you talked to her about this, or are you just assuming she'll have an issue with you being in your bed? Go home, get into bed. Sick person gets priority in the bedroom, and I hope you feel better soon. Keep a window open for clean fresh air. It helps reduce the spread. You absolutely should be staying in your room and not getting multiple people sick vs just your roommate. That is your private space which you're entitled to. She has no right to ask you to go out and risk other people in order to spare her. Elmo Wild. You should be staying in your room to avoid passing it on to other people. I don't know if it's in your budget, but perhaps you could order an air purifier with a HEPA filter on Amazon Prime and place it right next to your bed so it will filter out your air, and maybe that will make your roommate feel more comfortable. Up to both, you need to be in bed though. If you guys both practice good hygiene and ventilate the room as much as possible, she shouldn't even necessarily get sick from being in the same room. Also, a sick person deserves access to their bed in their own home. She can go and hang outside of it as much as possible if it's important to her. You are sick. You get the room so you can rest, sleep, and get better. If you aren't there, other people are going to catch what you have. What she does is up to her. But sick people need to stay home and rest. Both from each other. It's your responsibility to avoid passing your germs on to the masses. Go home. Go to bed. Drink plenty of fluids and eat healthy food. Your duty to your roommate is to stay as clean as you can. Tissues go into the basket and trash removed regularly. Use hand sanitizer before touching anything. Shall touch door knobs and such. If she wants to be away from you, she can choose to do so. But you can't banish yourself from your bedroom because you're sick. You're being very considerate to think of your roommate's comfort, but I agree with the majority of comments here. Go back to the room, try to rest, and feel better soon.